good afternoon, good evening. I am your host, Data T, and this is my channel, The Good Guys. Guys, today's story comes out of Virginia Beach in Virginia, okay? And the title reads, Local Flooring Company Involved in Shooting Says It Was Self-Defense. Now, guys, I have a straightaway opinion for this. I'm even going to title it differently. But before we do, if you guys wouldn't mind leaving a like, leaving a comment, make sure you subscribe. Remember, we're on that road to 1,000 subscribers. Only way we're going to get there is with your help. And you guys can feel free. Hit me on Twitter. Hit me on mine. TruthSocial. Whatever platform there is out there, please. I have no problem talking to all of you. Okay? So, let us dive into this story. Let us begin.
Company wants to set the record straight after an altercation led to a shooting earlier this month. Virginia Beach police say a man was shot the morning of October 13th at New Point condominiums. 10 on your side's Michelle Wolf spoke to the flooring company, who says they were involved in the
It was just another day on the job for the crew of the Floor Doctor. The company is based out of Virginia Beach. We spoke with the owner over the phone, who tells us an incident that happened this past Friday the 13th has shaken his crew. The team was installing a hardwood floor inside a second-floor condo on Pillar Court when a woman in the condo below started complaining about the noise. She called police around 8:30 in the morning.
When the police got there, they told the lady we were not going to stop them from working because it's not 6 a.m., it's not 8 p.m. They're here to make an honest living. We're going to allow them to continue to work.
Officers left and the crew continued their job.
She came up there after the police left and said, "Don't worry, I'm calling somebody else."
The owner tells us an hour later, a man appeared and started beating up one of his guys.
My guy went to go put him in the headlock. Once he got a hold of him, the suspect pulled out a gun.
He tells us his team tried wrestling the gun out of the man's hand with no luck. That's when one contractor pulled his own gun in self-defense.
He forewarned the gentleman, "Please drop your gun, please drop your gun."
The man didn't drop the gun and the contractor fired. The crew called for help and stayed on scene. Police.
Now, here is what I'm going to title this video, and I'm going to explain why. I will title this, Wherever You Are, You Must Be Armed. Guys, it has come to my attention for all the videos that I've done, for all of the cases that I have presented you, where people are using their firearms in self-defense, almost 500 cases, okay? This doesn't, and I never will get to all of them. It will never happen. I highlight as many as I can. And every single case I have been reminded, in almost every situation, in almost every part of town, every part of the state in this country, and even at various times with various people in various businesses, places, these shootings, these self-defense shootings, these times where you have to use your gun in self-defense, it can happen at any moment. This is why you must always be armed. You don't know when it's going to go down. I'm telling you, it pains me that sometimes when I come home, I keep my gun on me. In some cases. Unless I've secured the door is in a way that it's very secure. Nobody's going to get in, okay? If I don't do that, I keep my gun on me. And I live in a safe neighborhood. Nothing has happened to me for years. But how many times have we heard people say, "Oh, this is a safe neighborhood. Nothing ever happened here. Oh, we never imagined." I'm not going to be one of those people. And you shouldn't be either. So this is why you must always have You must always be armed. Look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. This guy is trying to earn a living. He is doing something with his hands. He is a laborer, blue collar worker, and I'm one myself, okay? And he is out there earning a living. And what happened? What happened? He was put in a situation where his life may be on the line. Imagine if there was a sign that said, hey, you can't bring your firearm. Or what if the employer says, hey, you can't bring your firearm with you onto the job. You can't do that. Bullshit. And this is the reason why I'm going to tell you. I think employers are just going to have to, especially in some of these states, they're just going to have to realize, you know what? Employees are going to have a gun. And I better not put any policy there that says you cannot protect yourself, because then maybe I will be liable. And I'm going to tell you, if that ever is the case, and you are one of those people, you just ask them, hey, are you going to provide protection here? Are you going to provide a guard here? Are you going to be out there to protect me when something goes wrong? Then I'm carrying my gun. And I'm going to tell you, some of us work in places where you cannot bring one. I'm telling you, governed by the federal government, all these places. But I think it's high time people are just going to say, you know what? I don't think I'm going to comply with that. And especially if you're a good person, you're a good citizen, you're going to make sure, hey, I'm not going to be in a situation where, I'm caught with this, or if I am using it in a bad way, or, people are going to make sure that, hey, I'm going to make sure you never catch me. And I think that is what is going to happen, what is going to have to happen moving forward. You never know when you will be put in a situation where you have to protect yourself and protect others and protect your family. Let's move on.
Police say 2 men were detained for questioning and were later released. No charges were filed. However, the owner of the floor doctor wants the woman who brought upon the whole situation to be held responsible.
If the lady was never called for them to come out, none of this would have ever happened, and I truly believe charges should be filed on her. I mean, one of my guys is having problems sleeping, and he's a grown man. When you got to go through that, and you got to determine is it your life or their life, and why am I in this situation, and then you got to shoot somebody, it's a lot on my guys. I feel so bad for them.
At last check, the man who was shot is in critical condition. Meanwhile, police are continuing their investigation. Michelle Wolfton on.
Well, guys, if you see there, okay, interesting story, but I maintain what I have just said previously. People should be armed at all times. You should have a weapon with you at all times, and it just has to be that way. There's nothing else we can do, because these people want to make sure that you can't protect yourself, and I'm not going to be in that boat. I won't do it. I cannot. And I wonder what you guys think. You gonna comply? Will you not comply? Hey, I'm not going to comply, but I'm not going to tell you that. Hey, I'm gonna follow the law. I'll tell you, hey, I'm following the law. Until the time is where I have to break the law to help either myself or my family or people around me. I'm not saying that. I have to state it. And this is could be anybody saying this, okay? This could be anybody. Anybody could be in this boat and come to this conclusion that we are not safe. We are our first responders, ladies and gentlemen. You should not wait for someone to come and help you. Okay? It's just that you cannot live in that world. You can't. Because good guys, I genuinely believe good guys should have guns. Good guys should be armed. Good guys should have the ability to protect themselves and others. Because if good guys can't do anything, they cannot become good guys. If good guys do nothing, there will be no good guys.